Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Randomcraft. Can you see it? Or better yet, can you not see it? Yes, finally I have decided to actually get rid of the copper farm. I know, I've been promising this copper farm for far too long, and I think today's the day. Today's the day that we actually get around to fixing our little copper situation. Because see, we don't really have a lot of copper to sell, and I think that's the main reason why it's not selling, is because people think, you know, getting full from here is probably not very much worth it. Let me just check here. Nothing there. Anything in here? Oh, light blue gemeralds. There was one. Wait, one second. Anything else? Okay, there was one other one in my base, and I'm getting very sidetracked already. This one. Someone bought the head off my wall with a light blue gemerald. I'm gonna leave this one here until I can figure out who done this. Who's the one peddling counterfeit gemeralds around the server? We'll leave it up as part of our to-do list, but that is what we're doing today. And I was racking my brain forever trying to figure out what I was gonna do with it. And then I remembered, you know what? I bought this any key from Enigma ages ago, and I have used the ender probably like 3 times, and that's it. That's the I spent 3 diamond blocks to use the ender 3 times, and so I figured it's time that we actually put the any key to use. And so I bought a spawner over at the perimeter. So let me grab all of the stuff that we need and let's go and build ourselves a copper farm. Now, I'm not quite sure if I've ever shown the perimeter on camera before, but it is a ways away. I also want to just mention that the whole reason why we're not going to be using the NX04 copper farm is not because it's not good. It's an excellent, very cheap, easy to build single player farm. I don't think it's the greatest for servers. I know that he says that it's self-throttling and all of that, but I need something that's a little less high maintenance, where I don't need to purge a bunch of the drowns every once in a while, and I can just AFK the thing overnight. And so I found a design by Cubic Meter that just ticked all the boxes. The only thing that it needed was a spawner, even though I could have probably made just like a spawn box on the top. But anyway, here we are at the perimeter. This is a big old super smelter that Enigma and I think Lag made together that is part of the any key package. And then basically you have access to this entire massive perimeter. And this one is a lot bigger than than the average person would probably make it. And the whole purpose of that is that if you are in the center AFK spot, not only does it not spawn any mobs, it doesn't load any chunks at all, right? So for AFKing the witch farms and things that they have here and over there, nothing else except what's inside the perimeter gets spawned. But what we are here for is that little spawner right there. It is at exactly the right height. Perfect. It's at exactly the right height that we need, or at least it's above the minimum height that we need, because to be able to spawn them here and move them into the farm and make sure that the drowns can get pushed by water, the drowns need to be above a certain level. But I'll get around to that. First things first, let's actually get this thing built. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The copper farm is finally finished, and 4 hours later, let's actually see what we got. Yeah, you guys are really loud in there. We got a double chest here, a double chest there, and quite a bit more. All right, so I'm guessing it's about a chest, one chest an hour. Now, if I do my calculations, that would be roughly 1,728. So let's just say 800 because we had a little extra. So 1,800 an hour is definitely the best rates I've ever gotten on a copper farm. Cubic Meter did an amazing job with this design, so go check out the link in the description to his video for that. And let me just show you guys quickly what's going on. So we have the spawner down there. That's where the whole process starts. And this means that I don't have to keep refilling the thing with zombies every time they despawn or something bad happens to them. And then from there, they go up. And if we go up here, then you'll see that there's two TNT dupers here, right? So what happens is they come up... is it this side? I think it's the other side. All right, doesn't matter. They come up, and then they immediately start tracking towards the villagers. And then from there, they get stuck in these areas, and the TNT dupers are right here. So they take some damage from the TNT, and as long as they have an active target that they're tracking, then any damage they take will spawn in reinforcements in these chambers over here. You could technically scale this thing up with another chamber that way and another chamber that way, but that would just be too much for one server to handle. All right, then there's also these, you can see there's some scaffolding down there, right? That scaffolding removes the collisions between zombies, which means that effectively they get to pile up in this area here instead of backing up all the way into the back of the farm, which means that if it does get too full and this whole area fills up with drowns, then a lot of them at the back here will end up dying from too much TNT damage. So it kind of self-throttles itself. And yeah, then from there, they drop down in there, and then they go down all the way to the kill chamber. And from here, we use the minecart swiping technique so that we don't take any thorns damage from some of them. And then it all gets sorted into here. So we have some copper, and I can actually stock the shops for that. We also get a butt ton of heads. So definitely won't have to worry about restocking the head case anytime soon with all of that. So yeah, that's the entire copper farm. One other thing to note is that if you have this set up down here, there's a pulse extender that every time you swipe this, it sends a pulse through that actually activates the TNT duper. So right now it's not turned on, but if I started swiping this thing, you'll see that that trapdoor starts flapping, and then that will activate the TNT dupers. There we go. See? Explosions. Alright, so that's the copper farm done. I'm quickly going to craft up all of these and go take them over to the shop, and then I'll be right back. Alright, and that is the copper all nice and stocked up. The gold still needs to be refilled a little bit, and I kind of want to get more in here. And the iron has also been filled up. Now, it is still 1 diamond per stack of ingots for now. I might, as I start to actually AFK all of these farms a little bit more regularly, I'll get around to maybe selling stacks of blocks and maybe doing a red gemerald for that, which would be effectively 8 diamonds, which means it'll be 1 diamond cheaper for 9 stacks. And I think that would be a good price overall for the majority of the rest of the season. But talking about gold, this had me thinking, we have a gold farm, but we do not have a bartering farm. So how about we fix that real quick? Another farm done, and another gross underestimation for the amount of work it needed. First, it was the copper farm and getting all those villagers in there, and also the fact that I needed a beacon so that I don't, you know, starve to death, kind of like I have here. And then this one, and just trying to get in, I think I have about 20 in there now. There were a few kids that somehow managed to get in there with the pumpkin heads. So, but they got shot out when I ran the first test with these slime blocks. So I can try and fill this up a little bit more. But essentially, this is a farm designed by Logical Geek Boy. I will leave a link to this video down in the description as well. And this one feeds directly in from the gold that we get from the gold farm, which is fantastic. So I can actually just run this farm passively while I AFK for gold up there. So let me just show you guys how this works. It basically works on a timer that shoots out enough gold ingots for all of these guys, and then they drop all their stuff. That one retracts, this one pushes out, and then that one pushes it back, and it pushes it all the way along the ice, and they all get filtered down here into all of these. So we have blackstone, gravel, spectral arrows. Actually, let me do this, right? So I'm not going to be selling blackstone, but I might sell it to Foxy. I know that he was talking about selling nether stuff, so that might be cool. Gravel I'm going to need for lots of concrete and terraforming and stuff anyway, but we'll see what I do with that. Spectral arrows is my go-to for arrows. Quartz I need lots for my redstone. That's just extra supplement, I guess, for my iron farm. Soul sand, don't know. Maybe I'll sell it to Foxy. Nether bricks, again, don't really care too much about it, but maybe I can sell it to him. Ender pearls, that'll just be my source of ender pearls from now on. String is good for me. Fire charges, I don't know what I'll use that for. These two, definitely keep them for me, although I don't know if I'm necessarily going to need that much crying obsidian. This is going to help stock the animal shop, the fauna fair, with more leather. And then fire resist, because that's always handy to have. And I was thinking what I could do is I could combine a lot of these books into Soul Speed 3 and see if I can sell them to lag. So this is just a very multi-purpose farm. It's the first one on the server, and I don't know if anyone else is planning on making one. So at least now we are farming all of these things, and these things will be supplied within the economy. So I'm going to keep running this farm for a little bit and let it all run through all of this gold, and then I'll be back to show you guys the yield that I get. And we're done, ladies and gentlemen. All of the gold has run out, so let's have ourselves a nice little look at what our yield was. So we inputted about a double chest and a half, and it took about a half an hour to get through all of that, but we got a decent amount of blackstone. Very nice. We got lots of gravel for our needs. I don't think we'll ever run out of spectral arrows again. We got some quartz to help us out. Those chests are wrong. 1 second. There we go. And then this one I don't really care about. That, don't care too much about it. Neither that. That's good to have. We have a decent amount of string for ourselves now. Could also use that for wool. And then that, I don't know. That's good to have. This is very nice because I need obsidian for things, because we're going to be building a new nether portal sometime soon, I guess. And then that is fantastic. I can sell all of that to Magic, and he's going to be so happy. And then we got lots of fire resist. Water bottles I'll discard at some point. And then we got lots of books. So yeah, definitely thinking about combining these and selling them to lag. And we can probably just smelt down the boots or just throw them away, probably is best. I also forgot to mention, and you will see this in Logical Geek Boy's video if you do go and watch that, there is like a semi non-stackable filter sort of thing going on here, at least for the potions. So bottles get sorted out, the splash potions get shot out from a dispenser in there, get rid of them. And so we can actually sort out the bottles and then the books and the boots just end up at the back here, and then there's an overflow. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is a job well done. Let's head back to the base. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I think the copper farm can finally come off of the list, and we didn't even have the bartering farm on the list, but I'm gonna add something back. Lab? Definitely need a lab. And, I need another sign. There we go. And another thing that we're definitely going to need is a storage system. Definitely gonna need a storage system very soon because we need it, because otherwise we're just taking too long with things. I need a storage system. But anyway, the boat bandit we still haven't found. I don't know how we're gonna find them. These things are still up here as well. The banner patterns, apart from the creeper face and the snout, I have most of them. Creeper face I have an idea for, which we'll get to in a second. And the banner, the snout banner, I can always just borrow from Peanut. I mean, she is my partner in crime, after all. And then the saloon, I still need to work on that one. The black market is making good progress, which we'll get to in a second. And then we definitely need to get started on some roads. So, talking about Creeper Banner and Black Market, let me just show you guys what I have been doing in here. So, I have been finishing up all of the decorations, but the first thing that I want to do real quick is put up our very first bounty, because I think this is going to be a great way for us to actually get our hands on the Creeper Banner pattern. So if I can get someone to deliver me a trident, I will give them one black market shop stall. So there's a whole bunch of them that's still available, and I'm sure someone here is gonna have an idea for one of these, and it would be good if they then come and redeem that, right? So then I have channeling and a couple of enchants that I got from treasure chests and stuff that I'll be able to use on the trident, which will give us the opportunity to actually get charged creepers, get the creeper banner, and all that sort of stuff, right? Long story short, trident equals banner, and then that's finished. So what we have been doing here is I've actually stocked all of these shops. Let me just go in here first. So this is Oddball. All right, say hi to Oddball, and that's Oddball's brother, his nondescript name, right? In here, actually, let's start with this barrel. So in here, we have separate slots, right? So one gemerald for 2 emerald ore, one blue gemerald, that's 4 diamonds, for the deep slate coal ore or curse of binding, which I might change to a different shop later, but for now, this is kind of the oddity shop, right? One red gemerald, that's 8 diamonds, for stone diamond ore, very, very rare stuff. And then I still have slots here available for the purple, that's 16, and the silver, which is 32 diamond. But then we have a gold gemerald here for deep slate emerald ore, because these things are super rare, right? Oddball, can you please get out of my way? Okay. I've finished up some of the banners. I've also done a little bit of armor stand work around here, hanging up some heads. In here we have John and James. They are our resident tanners. And yeah, it's just a good place for me to actually trade with some leather workers. That's pretty much what a lot of this is. It's basically a trading hall of sorts, villager trading hall. But in here, I also have 1 gemerald per slot for any of these things. Now that I have the bartering farm, I might bump these up to full stacks. But yeah, you go get some rabbit's foot and rabbit's hide and leather, and you can also get buckets of pufferfish for 1 gemerald each here. Then if we go up this way, first of all, here we have, let me just actually see if I can show you guys his name. Discow, because can you guys see it? Those mushrooms are going mental. I don't know if it's like 3D texture pack or what it is, but something is making this a disco cow. So that's Discow. And then in here is Carl, right? So that's Carl. And then up this way, I still need to put a vendor in here. I'm not sure. I'm still deciding what I want to do. I might put a drowned or a piglin or something in here, actually, because that would be pretty cool. Then they can make different sounds to just a regular you can get a little bit of or a little bit of something like that, right? And then in here we just have the same sort of system with the tier levels for all of the different heads. These I will definitely bump up in a second to half stacks as well for a Gemerald. And then deep slate diamond ore for a blue Gemerald, red Gemeralds for these ones. And then down here, deep slate emerald ore for a silver Gemerald. And I also have a load of guardian heads from raiding a bunch of ocean monuments that I have here. So that is the head shop. And then up this way, let me just get to it, is the containment. Right? Because it's a container. I didn't really mention this last time, but yeah, this is just a cutout container that they've like bent down to make the platforms and this side to make the bar. And here we have Ezekiel and Jeremiah, who are just my my resident clerics for me to trade with. And then yeah, the rest. Oh, Foxy has delivered the allays. All right, well, just give me 1 second. All right, so. There you go. And there you go. Right. Now they each have a sword. Now fight! Yeah, that's the best I can do right now for an LA fighting pit. But don't you stab me. Jeez. Alright. I also need to maybe change it so that they can actually not get out. Maybe take the leads down a little bit. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is going to do it for today. We have gotten a lot done, and I am very happy because it feels to me like we're back on track with actually establishing ourselves on the server. So, if you liked the video, leave me a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. See ya. Oh, Reginald, sorry, my dude. I forgot to introduce you completely. How are you doing today? Great!